Hi, Demi here. Now today we have a story about Activision Blizzard. Now you might be wondering, why am I covering this? Well, it's about the Q&A and support or customer service division. Now I had someone in customer service who was like my inside guy that always helped me with my problems on World of Warcraft and whatnot. He got laid off during the 800 layoff by Activision Blizzard that happened, I think, last year or the year before. I can't remember what year it was, but you know the one I'm talking about. I feel like I should talk about this since I did have an inside guy in Activision Blizzard in the customer service division. Now, Activision Blizzard's contact workers say they're crushed by toxic work culture. Alright, so Activision Blizzard has a problem keeping its quality assurance, QA, testers and customer service representatives around, as partly by design. Workers are contracted on a temporary basis, but the work that Q&A and customer service workers at Activision Blizzard do in offices in California, Texas and Minnesota is very demanding. Employees that, especially considering the low pay, intense crunch and mistreatment by customers. So it says, I cried when I got the job, one current employee told Polygon. I was so excited to be part of the process, to be in this industry. It's always been my dream and to work in video games, but now I feel crushed. The company took a lot from me. Another Q&A employee said Demi told Polygon. A large portion of Activision Blizzard's Q&A development working on game franchises like Call of Duty are contract workers employed in offices far away from the publisher's California headquarters. In places like Austin, Texas, and Alden, Minnesota, hundreds of contract workers work under full-time salaried employees that lead Q&A processes identifying and reporting game bugs. The Blizzard employees Polygon spoke to said they were employed by the company itself as salaried workers, where Activision site houses most of the company's contract workers. We're going to read down to probably here, so then it just gets into like questioning all the workers. 15 current former employees in both Q&A and customer service told Polygon that the structure of Activision Blizzard's Q&A and customer service programs, specifically in its Texas and Minnesota office, makes workers feel undervalued and exploited. A dozen additional Activision Blizzard employees corroborated these reports in statements sent to the press, including Polygon through ABK Workers Alliance. These employees described a constant rotation of Q&A workers, with people working under contracts studied between 3 months long unpaid breaks between new contracts. Contracts work in cycles. Workers said in the company specifically a certain amount of time on a contract before a worker has to be off contract again, also for a designated amount of time. Then the cycle repeats. This creates a system where it's challenging to actually advance in a career at Q&A. You want to work in Q&A if you do, but this just makes it impossible. Workers can't afford not to have a job for 3 months, and many often just find something new or never return to Activision Blizzard. Workers pointed out to the company culture outlined in the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing lawsuit filed last month as the root of the company-wide problem. In the lawsuit, employees alleged widespread, sexism and workplace misconstruction perpetrated by leadership that trickled down into all levels of the company. Activision Blizzard workers told Polygon that leadership in Texas and Minnesota has been positioning the lawsuit and alleged toxic culture as a problem specific only to Blizzard Entertainment, which it cited frequently in the court documents. But workers from other studios told Polygon that's not true. The problems are in all facets of the company. Contracted workers in both Q&A and customer service say they feel vulnerable due to the lack of job stability. All 15 current and former employees Polygon spoke to, as well as the majority of workers that emailed statements through the representative, said that pay is especially low, with a rate of $12 an hour. Is that under the minimum wage in California? I don't know. I think they have a $15 minimum wage in California. I don't know. I'm not an American. I don't know. During crunch periods, some people said they worked up to 7 days a week for at least 10 hours a day, yet felt compelled to work away simply because they otherwise were not paid enough to survive. Activision Blizzard so they haven't responded, but it says current workers said that leadership has not addressed the demands laid out in July. It goes on to talk about other stuff like the lead up to Call of Duty Black Ops, and it gets personal. And there's a guy with a "We Are Blizzard, Everyone Matters." What do I think? Well, if it's not for the Q&A and customer service department, you would not have video games, as Q&A basically beta tests and customer service helps you when you have a problem. They're very important parts Now, I don't know what the minimum wage in America is, or California, or whatever, so I cannot comment on that. But for me, as an Australian, where our minimum wage is $24, so $12 to me seems really, really low. Now, I've heard that the minimum wage is $10 in America. I've heard it varies from state to state. I don't know what the minimum wage in California is. And heck, some of these workers aren't even in California. They're based in other states. I just think this is bullshit, and I think that Activision Blizzard, like, forget the pay. There's other stuff that they talk about also, like how they struggle with mental and physical health, the ongoing sexism and stuff. I mean, last month we found out that there is a lot of bad shit happening in Activision Blizzard. So, I think that it needs to fix. And you even got Asmongold. This is like another story, but Asmongold said that he thinks the lawsuit and the whole drama going on with Activision Blizzard is good for WoW if it is successful. And yes, that could be true. However, I mean, it says toxic culture, like, define toxic, but at the same time, I can understand people not being happy with, I mean, you go to work to do a job, not to get harassed and all this stuff. Like, forget the mental health, forget the minimum wage, it's other stuff also. It's other stuff also. So I think that, I've said this yesterday, but Activision Blizzard needs to get its shit together. It needs to get its shit together. Like, we can forget about the minimum wage and their wages and, you know, all that stuff. It's still a lot of bad stuff going on, and this article gets into detail. I'm going to have a link to this article in the description below, because it's really a lot to read, and I'll be here 20 minutes if I read it all, and I don't want to waste your time. So there's a link to this article in the description below. Check it out if you want the full read. Oh yeah, by the way, also, just skimming over this, it says multiple employees are told Paragon a situation in which they allege a power imbalance between full-time employees and contract workers, which created a toxic environment. Some reported instances of sexual harassment that were allegedly brushed off by HR. The workers described the culture in which QA and customer service departments were siloed off from other parts of the company. Most QA workers Polygon spoke to said they were barred from talking directly to the developers. Personally, they need to talk to the developers. This is all bullshit. So now we know what's going on in Activision Blizzard. I hope you have some understanding of what's happening in Activision Blizzard's Q&A support and customer service. To be honest, as I said, there'll be a link to this in the description below. Check it out. It's really a good read. Now, I could read all of this for you, but it'll just take too long. I don't want to take too long. I don't want like a 20-minute video. So, check it out. Link in the description. Anyway, I'll see you all tomorrow for a last news video, and then Sunday we'll have the Let's Play. Sunday will be the Let's Play, so if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, click like, and all that stuff, and I'll see you next time.